Well, hello lovely humans, welcome back to my channel. This is a bonus video if you are watching this, you know, outside of my normally weekly rotation. We're starting a little mini bonus content series here because I have the incredible honor of helping a fellow YouTuber plan her wedding, LIANA Ramirez. Girl, if you're watching this, hi, I absolutely adore you. And we decided it'd be super fun to kind of show you both sides of what wedding planning looks like with me and her. Okay. She released her video a couple weeks ago. I became ill and stopped being a functioning member of society for a hot minute, so mine's coming out a little bit later. I will go ahead and link hers right here if you want to check it out. But we are going to be showing you behind the scenes of two pretty incredible venues in the Austin area here in Central Texas for y'all to take a peek at. The first location we go to is Canyonwood. The second location we go to is the Arlo. Both of them are located kind of in like the Dripping Springs, Austin area, which I didn't realize is actually the wedding venue capital of Texas. So yay for me, learning new things. And both of them offer pretty similar amenities. Two separate ceremony locations, tables, chairs, they don't offer linens, gorgeous architecture, gorgeous grounds, both offer at least one getting ready space, but there is one key detail that separates these two locations, and I'm gonna see if y'all can spot it, because this was the determining factor for why we chose one location over another. So I'm not gonna say anything just yet, let's see if y'all can spot it.
Doing a vlogception right now.
Are you vlogging? Me vlogging? This is so pretty.
This is gorgeous. Okay, so this is possible ceremony location. What I love about right here is they actually have like some little flagstones for the wedding party to stand on. Stunning backdrop. Obviously not gonna have a lawnmower here that day.
Or power washer.
Or I mean, we might have the power washer.
Someone's just on the side like, hey.
It's fine. It sounds like the sunset's over here. We've got all these trees. So what gorgeous golden hour lighting are we gonna find through this? I don't even know if you can hear me over the lawnmower. All right, and then this would be potential cocktail hour space. They'd have the bar up under here, which is great because of heat and weather. They have 10 cocktail tables. If this is not used as a ceremony, then this could be used, the whole space could be used as a cocktail hour. And with a guest count of about 160, this would be pretty tight for all of them, so we want to kind of let them meander around out here if possible. Prep kitchen is huge. I don't know if this is available, but got an ice maker, long prep space. Probably won't use that. Another long prep space, and then fridge. Oh, this looks open. You're welcome. Stop closing. There's like cakes in the way. Okay, so here, I don't know why I'm starting with that. This is the ceremony space. A couple things that I'm gonna pay attention to is the acoustics. Obviously with a vaulted ceiling, we wanna be mindful of that. But surprisingly, it's not as bad. Even though it's pretty cavernous, I think the wood maybe softens it a little bit. They do have in-house speakers that you can use for your ceremony, which makes it wildly convenient. The setup's back over here. You can plug in your phone if you need to. It's just a matter of whether or not this works for the DJ. They can still bring in their own things, but with a view like this, you really don't want speakers there if possible. So it is wildly convenient. They've been really intentional about some of these details to make sure that this aesthetic is still really nice. Now the couple's considering getting married here in February and or March are kind of the dates that they're looking at. So we won't have leaves on these trees, which is fine. We actually ended up seeing some photos from this and it's stunning. That's actually where the sun sets as well. And so as far as the decor is concerned, because this is already so well appointed, we do have these alcoves. It looks like the greenery was added for that. But we wouldn't need to do a whole lot, which keeps it really budget friendly, especially if you're looking at more like a weekday wedding. This is wildly convenient. And they have a bunch of stuff included, like chairs and tables. I think the only thing that I know rental-wise you have to outsource hello, is the linens. And then you walk out into this main foyer space. How dare
I'm so sorry, I was walking into you.
Oh, you're fine. So this is the main entrance that can go straight out there. Sorry, excuse me. And that could be, I already showed you guys that. That could be another ceremony space, and all of these are sliding glass doors. Not glass, those aren't glass. Thank you. It's fine. I need more coffee. These are sliding wood doors, so when your guests walk in, they're not exposed to your reception space. You get to have this grand reveal. They do have all of these lights. They're all dimmable, which is great because we've talked about how awkward it is with a really, really lit dance floor. Like no one wants to move. I love that Liana's trying to stay out of the camera. You're fine.
I'm all over the place and I'm just gonna like, wait, how can I mess with Jamie right now? It's fine.
Just keep zooming back and forth by my camera. I actually love the greenery they have up there. That is something they installed for this event, which is really cool. In addition, they have 300 of these whitewash Chiavarris as well. So they've got the white ones and then the whitewash. Sounds like they've got 40 of these tables and like 20 of the 8-footers, more than we could possibly need. There's a couple options for there's a couple options for where you'd have the sweetheart table. I prefer this one. There was another suggestion of having it right here. A photographer would know this space much better than I would, but this feels like it would be like pretty backlit. But that leads out to that cocktail hour space and out to that potential secondary ceremony space. For as all-inclusive as this place is, which is, I mean, they've got a ton of stuff going on, it's really all still pretty neatly packed together without being too small. So it makes the whole party feel like no one's ever leaving it, which is pretty rad. They do also have some miscellaneous tables that are beautiful. They've got this one, they've got one over there, and they've got this piece right here, and they all come with. Cute. Ooh, I like this, using the gold foil with a white backdrop. If you guys saw the last behind the scenes, it was gold foil on a clear backdrop on some of the signs. It was a little hard to read. But this would be great if you want to use it for welcome table, gifts. You can bring it inside the ceremony space if you need anything for the union part of it. It looks great. Location number 2, we are at the Arlo. Stunning. Like so pretty. And I think that's groom's quarters is what I just heard. Tons of parking. A little bit harder to find than the last location. But not that big of a deal. Not deeply concerning, like it's off some crazy winding road for several miles. But it might fool a couple of guests. Oh my. Oh no, Liana. Oh dear. Oh dear.
I was about to get so confused.
Oh dear. Alright, so we're walking down this pathway to kind of get a feel for what the guest experience would be like. Hopefully you can hear me over the leaf blower. So if we are having the ceremony inside, there's 2 options. There's one right here. There's a ceremony in the back. Ceremony space in the back. You can kind of see the edge of that. I think I already have clips of it. So we're walking it from the guest experience of what that would look like. Well lit. These are things that I look for, just in case we don't want anybody tripping on your wedding day. And then a little bit of space to take photos over here. If you wanted to do anything a little bit more grandiose, though, you'd probably have to go off-site. Looks like there's an option to have it right here, which is really well framed. And with the guests coming in from this pathway, it's perfectly fine. There's also this option right here that's really cool. They have a mantle that's removable. You can decorate the lanterns. You can have some fun with this. The aesthetic of the house is cooler, but this makes more functional sense for as the guests are coming in. If you're using the walkway, it kind of doesn't matter either way. Alright, I'm talking quiet because there's other people here touring. This is the main ballroom space. I didn't ask about lights being dimmable, but my guess is they are. I have to check lights, which is over there. So this is huge. Like, we could do a bunch of things in here. Windows are great. It is pretty cavernous and echoey. So once you have bodies in here, it'll kind of absorb that a little bit, but still, if you have, I think their guest count's about 150, 160, it's gonna be a lot of noise. That's one of their custom bars they just had done. It's gorgeous. It's a $500 add-on. So something to keep in mind. I think they have 4 of them. But great, almost, not 360. Well, yeah, borderline. I don't know. You do the math. Great views in all directions. This would be a great spot for, I think they said for cocktail hour. That would be gorgeous. Love that. People have plenty of photo opportunities because guests, when they get all gussied up, they're gonna wanna take photos. Even if you don't have a photo booth, you're gonna wanna give them moments like this. Okay, can we just like book this as an Airbnb?
This is so cute.
This is really cute.
We just want to get ready at these places. And then get there.
Yeah, I know.
Double ovens? Okay, someone explain that to me. What are the groomsmen doing that they'd need 2 ovens? Not 1, but 2. Reheating their pizza. Okay, so there's an extra room right here.
Yeah, a little bit of green.
And then this is the prep kitchen space. It's also where they store all of the rentals. So this is all they've got for prep kitchen. They do have a little mini area over here that they treat as the vendor space, which is awesome from a vendor perspective because we don't normally have that. But looks like this is pretty open for all full service catering to come in and do setup. Plenty of outlets though. Look at all those outlets. Yes, there are. So they have both the long 8-foot rectangulars. They also have a couple of 40-inch rounds and cocktail tables, as well as some 66-inch rounds, which I can say with full confidence, I don't think I've ever seen at a venue. And then these gorgeous crossback chairs that I really do love. I think these are some of my favorite rental chairs. I think they said they have about 300. So my guess is there'd be just enough that we wouldn't have to flip the chairs around because we'll probably land at like 150. They do require that you use full service catering. Catering has to come in and do this setup, do this tear down. They have to be licensed, insured, the whole kit and caboodle, which is perfectly fine. We totally understand where they're coming from for that, but it does become limiting from a budget perspective and kind of pushes you into a higher tier.
So you figure it out? I'll give you a hint, it's the last thing I just said. When it comes to comparing 2 different venue locations, so often we can get wrapped up in the details of how many chairs does each location have, how many tables, what are the sizes of the tables, and really miss out on some of the most important details. The most important factor here for us was the fact that the Arlo required a full service catering staff to come in and do the setup and do the teardown. This is one of those things that tends to get lost in communication. If a couple goes, wait, they had tables and chairs, that's better, right? Not necessarily. Where some clients can kind of get themselves into hot water is signing up for a venue that requires preferred vendors. Do I have any problem with preferred vendors? Absolutely not. Love them, love the Arlo, love what they're doing, and it is honestly really wise on their part to require a client use preferred vendors because then they know what they're getting into. They're protecting themselves. But from a budget or creativity standpoint, you are limited to whomever they allow on their list. You are not allowed to book off of that. So one thing that LIANA and her fiance Steven were really interested in was potentially using a restaurant for drop style catering and then hiring a service staff. That would not be allowed at the second location. Again, just so I'm not misunderstood, I completely understand where the Arlo's coming from. That just pushes us into a completely different price bracket. And don't get me wrong, your girl absolutely loves full service catering. It makes for a very seamless, very smooth, and very fantastic event. But from a budget standpoint, it automatically pushes us into a higher echelon of costs. So if you're comparing 2 different venues, take into account, of course, parking, restrooms, space, amenities, but one of the most overlooked parts of venue comparisons is preferred and or required vendors. So as you're going through your journey and trying to figure out where you want to get married, make sure you're asking the right questions so you get the right answers, so you are actually finding something within your budget, not just the number that you see on paper. Because on paper, the cost difference between the 2 was very small. But once we asked a few more questions, we realized that one location was going to end up being quite a bit more expensive based on the rules and regulations that they had in place. For good reason, but just not the budget that we were looking for. That's all we have for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to follow along with LIANA's journey and what it's like to be a bride of mine, I'm gonna go ahead and link her channel right up here for y'all to check out. She is a love nugget and I'm super excited to be working with her and Steven throughout this whole process. And of course, I'm excited for a couple of extra bonus content videos that we're gonna be dropping from time to time, because who wouldn't be excited for more content, right? And until next time, bye guys.